Good day, matey. Good day. It's not even matey. It's good day, mate. Good day, mate. Good. I'm just gonna stop with the impressions, okay? I'm going back to my regular voice. I'm not gonna say good day anymore. I'm not gonna say mate anymore. Did they even say it across the pond? Anyway, the Ravens got the win across the pond, and it makes me think, man. It makes me think. Like, yes, there's still so much. There's so much left to be desired about this offense, but at the same time, if we think a little bit deeper, is actually there are a lot to be proud about so far with not only this offense but this team. Let's talk about it. All right, welcome into Flock Nation Speaks. Flock Nation Speaks. Flock Nation Speaks. Your Baltimore Ravens podcast, where we talk about the best team in NFL history. If you're a Ravens fan, I am a huge Joe Flacco Wise fan. Usher once said, "Situations will arise in our lives." I'm talking about shut down. Like you're not throwing on Jimmy Smith. Joe is criminally underrated. Criminally, like lock him up in cuffs. Criminally underrated. Lamar's put this team as a top 5 offense for the first time in 20 years. Got the arm talent. Jay Cutler had it too. I don't care about this argument against total TDs and all this. Oh, you want to talk about defense? Oh, until next time. All right, what is going on, good people? Or should I say, good day, good people? I'm done. I'm done for real this time. What is going on, good people? We are back at it again. Your host, DJ, back at it again with Flock Nation Speaks, your Baltimore Ravens podcast, where we talk about the best team in NFL history, even across the pond when they play at 9:30 at weird times that we don't understand as fans. But for the NFL, I get it because they got to make money if you're a Ravens fan, of course. But anyway, let's get into this victory that the Ravens had against the Tennessee Titans. Kind of a interesting little, almost like rivalry. I think not as much as it was anymore because I don't think either one of the teams had a talkative guy that they once used to. But it's still a good game. It's still a lot of fun when it comes down to it. And by the way, Fly Nation Speaks is on all major podcasting platforms. So be sure to check the podcast out on whatever your favorites is. And if I ain't on your favorite, let me know so I can, slide on over there as well. But what is going on with y'all today? I mean, it is what Victory Tuesday for this recap here. And I feel like there's a lot to be said about this offense, and even throughout this game, I took some notes because I was like, let me, I saw some things and I'm like, I'll probably forget it by the time we get to the recap. But it's interesting. 24-16 was what's the score? Let me pull it up real quick so y'all can see it real quick. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. I don't. But anyway, 24-16 was the score. Lamar Jackson, 21 of 30, 70% for 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ryan Tannehill, 8 for 16, 76 yards, 1 INT. I think that's good. I mean, defensively, you couldn't ask for a better day when it comes down to that. Derrick Henry had 12 carries for 97 yards and 1 TD. And the biggest carry I think was like 70 yards or something. He had like a 70-yard play on that direct snap. So I mean, without that, I mean, you having an excellent game. Lamar Jackson led the Ravens in rushing yards, 13 carries for 62 yards, and the leading receiver was Mark Andrews for the Ravens. Leading the receiver was Tyjae Spears for the Tennessee Titans. And and that that's just offense. So we'll hop back in and we'll give you some defensive stats here in a little bit. But let's talk about the offense real quick. While we at it, while we on it, let's talk about the offense because, like I said, I took a couple notes while I was thinking about it, and I was like, let me just see because I want to get back to doing the knee jerk reactions like right after the game. But also I want to be able to probably take a couple of notes and look into those notes a little bit more before I hit y'all up on Tuesday. But some of the things that I noticed, number one was bad red zone play calling, man. Like it's funny because we talk about this offense and we talk about the struggles that this offense has, and a lot of times it's with finishing drives. A lot of times this offense struggles to they don't struggle to get down the field, right? They struggle right around. I think they struggle right around the 50. Honestly, I think they struggle right around the very, very, very edge of field goal range. Right, I think they can move the ball down the field. They can make a couple of big plays. We saw Odell make one. We saw Zay, get in on the action too. And of course, Mark Andrews, of course, being the leading receiver as well, he was in on the action. But it seems like when they get to the red zone, which I know is harder to score, down in there and everything too. And I think some of that has to do with kind of what we talked about last week with the lack of running game or the running game not being as effective. Everybody keying in on Lamar when it comes to those design runs and stuff like that. Bad red zone play calling, man. Like, it's weird because in the red zone, for whatever reason, the Ravens get like there is such a lack of creativity. For me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not very much of an artist. Okay, I am not very much of an artist. Okay, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Like, if I tried to draw something right now, right? If I tried to draw a Ravens logo right now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's probably I'm gonna try to draw it from memory. All right, it's probably not gonna be the best thing ever. Okay. Okay. So this reminds me of the Ravens when they get in the red zone. They lack creativity, right? Or they just ain't creative in that way, right? They're not creative in that fashion. They're lacking creativity, right? We know what the Ravens logo looks like. Where's it at? It's one right up there, right? It's one right up there. There's a couple right up there, right? But even from memory, actually, I got one right here, right? Even from memory, as much as I love the Ravens, and I know the logo, right? I could pick the logo out of a lineup. I could probably pick the logo blindly, but I cannot draw the logo blindly because that's not where I am creative. Y'all see that? That look like a darn uh, a football with a couple of ridges in it. Okay, look. Okay, that's the Ravens offense. This right here. This is the Ravens offense when it comes to the red zone. That's the Ravens offense. Not creative. When you have a new scheme, when you have a new system, when you have new weapons, you're not utilizing those weapons. And I think let's be honest about things, that's from the 20s to the 20s too, right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be straight up 100, keep it a bean, whatever the phrasing we use is nowadays. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. Okay, the Ravens, when it comes to getting everybody else involved, I don't think it's that creative. Right? I like this offense. I do. I think this offense shows flashes. I think this offense typically tends to get better from week to week. But we talk about all this talent. We talk about Rashad Bateman. We talk about Odell. We talk about Zay Flowers, right? We talk about Mark Andrews. We talk about Nelson Aguilar. We talk about the use of Devin Duvernay in some unique ways. But for some reason, I feel like those guys aren't really as involved as we think they are. And I'm not sure what it is. And especially let's get back to the point when it comes to the red zone. Where are the slants, right, in the red zone? Where are the play action under center passes when it comes to the red zone? Why are we just lining it up, either running it right up the gut with Gus, or we telling Lamar to go run it in? That's it. That's our game plan, right? That's our game plan. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I noticed that in the first half. That was the first note I took. I don't understand. And another thing that frustrated me about Greg Roman still kind of frustrates me a little bit about Todd Monken at times too. And I know it's probably easier said than done. It's easier said than done. Okay. I'll tell you. It's probably easier said than done. But on top of that, here's my thing. Where where are and maybe I should say it like this. Where are the pass options for the design Lamar runs? And when I say design, I mean designed, right? Where are the rollouts to give the threat of Lamar running the ball and sneaking Andrews right behind it? Right? Where are these things? Right? Where is using maybe your fastest receiver in Zay Flowers, lining him up in the slot and rolling to the right and giving Zay Flowers a chance to just beat somebody with speed? Where is that? Even something just as simple as that, or even like maybe even a little levels concept where you have Andrews run the post to the corner of the end zone, and you have Zay Flowers run like a little slant and you try to beat the guy with speed, and you got a little levels concept on that. Where are these things? Where's Rod Trail, stuff like that? Like where are these plays when you need them the most, which is when we need to score touchdowns? That's the thing I think is missing. I think there's optimism. I think there's optimism when it comes down to this offense. I think this offense has so much freaking potential to be really good. I just don't. I just think they're missing something. I know they're missing the run game. I get that, right? I mean, Gus averaged 2.6 yards a carry. Justice did have 4.4. Justice seems like the guy with the most burst, the guy with the most like breakaway ability, but nobody is killing anybody in the run game. And I mean, even Lamar's making big plays, especially when it comes down to scrambling and stuff like that. But them trying to run him a little less, even him, he's not being able to really break off as much as he wants to, because once again, the defense is saying, I'm gonna tell you one guy who's not gonna beat me, and that's Lamar Jackson. Right. Like, so, they're keying in on that. They're seeing that and they're understanding that. And they're keying in on the fact of, hey, like this is what this is what we're gonna do. Because it seemed like the Ravens had big plays, they just didn't capitalize on them. Right, we saw plays to Odell, we saw big plays to Mark Andrews. You see those downfield shots from time to time. Where you get a big chunk play and then you can, for whatever reason, you can't capitalize it. Like, I don't understand. And then you know, we got to the point in the second half where we had a little bit of a lead, right? And the offensive coordinator, once again, or John Harbaugh, whoever it is, right, that's making that last stitch decision. Why are we getting so complacent? Why are we getting so conservative to say, well, because this ain't the Ravens team of old, right? This ain't the Ravens team when you could ground and pound and win the game with the running game. I just don't think this team I don't think the offensive line is good enough to do it. And I think on top of that, I don't know if we don't have a back that's going to break for 15 yards to kind of ease up on some of that pressure a little bit. We just don't really have that. Like, Justice Hill might give you one, maybe two a game, but like, we don't have that guy that's gonna, you know, in the game with the run game. I don't see it. I feel like another thing too, Lamar has to make a special play every time. I think we're still leaning on Lamar to make a special play. We're still leaning on Lamar to say, hey, like, spin out of a, just, it was the play he made where I can't remember who it was, but the rusher came off free and he kind of like spun out of it. He was trying to go right, spun out of it, ran to the left, kind of cut back middle a little bit, and then got the first down off of it. And it's like I get it. Like, Lamar is capable of making those plays, but it shouldn't be that hard. This offense shouldn't be that difficult on Lamar. It shouldn't be like we gotta just wait for Lamar to make a special play. We now don't get me wrong. We know Lamar Jackson's gonna make special plays, right? That's why he's an elite quarterback to me, because he's gonna make that special play. It don't matter who's on the field. You got a chance to win the game when Lamar Jackson is out there. Now, with other people out there, you might not have that same chance. So, I think, that's the other thing too that got me about this offense is like, it still feels like sometimes they go out there and say, Lamar be great. All right, bye. Lamar be great. Break. Right. That's the play. That's the play. Nobody else has any direction, but it's just Lamar gonna make a play. But I think defensively, you know, I might give them a little bit too much credit sometimes, especially this year. But I think they've proven what they really can be, man. This defense it has shown time and time again that they can be really good. They've shown it against bad teams. They've shown it against good teams. This defense is going to help you stay in games time after time after time again. And I think, what the Ravens don't always get in offensive production, what the Ravens don't always get in maybe receiver play or running back, consistency, the Ravens get in defense. And Roquan Smith was second in tackles. Patrick Queen actually led the team in tackles, and of course we had the Geno Stone pick, who I think a lot of people are feeling this way about Geno Stone right now. He's just impressive, man. He's doing exactly what he's got to do. He's making a play when the play is there, and I think that's good. I felt like this defense would be a lot better simply because the Ravens, they like mad scientists sometimes, especially when it comes to the defensive end, right? They want to play guys out of position. They want to, use guys' speed to maybe rush off the edge or something like that. And I think that, I think that bodes well. I think it continues to bode well, and we continue to see it, especially, with a little bit of injuries. It's probably the healthiest this team has been in a long time. There was one person on the injury report, and that was Adafe Owe. That was on the active roster, of course. I mean, we know JK's done for the year. We know Ojabo is done for a while. So, it's just one of those things. I think, seeing Kyle Van Noy play as well, it just continues to be a really good pickup. Like I said, I said it last week, I'm impressed by this darn secondary. This secondary, to me, shouldn't be this good, and they are, and that's big because that helps the pass rush too. But to get a victory over the Tennessee Titans, I think was big, especially in a game where you can expect to be a little flat sometimes. You can expect to be you can expect to be like just not all there. It's across the pond. It's a time difference. You've been there all week. I do think it helped though. I don't know about y'all, because the last time that the Ravens went overseas, they played the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they lost 44-0 or 44-6, one of the two. It was terrible, and they went over on Thursday. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. They went over on Thursday. They went late in the week. Let's just say it like that. And that's exactly what the Titans did too. That's exactly what who is it? Buffalo. I think that's what Buffalo did last week, and they kind of got, they came out a little bit slow. I think that's what the Jags did the week before. They came out a little slow. So it seems like getting over there, getting your body acclimated to a time zone difference, probably an air difference, like with air pressure and stuff like that. Like all of that matters, especially for these guys who are used to playing in, kind of the same stadiums over and over again to a certain degree. I think we're learning more and more about these across the pond type games, that's not necessarily in the US, but the international games. But I think this is a good win. This is a good win. Long story short, this is a good win for the Ravens. They did exactly what they needed to do. I think they're getting better. I don't think I don't think anything's perfect by no means. But I think considering, the Ravens do a lot of things right. I think when it comes down, when it comes down to it, and despite bad coaching sometimes, despite some wishy-washy calls sometimes when it comes to coaching or even the refs sometimes, like despite drops, despite bad play calling, despite turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, that matters too. Like despite all of that, they find ways to be in games, and I think at this point they got to find more ways to win more of those games, right? I think they win more than they don't if they come out flat, but it really just depends, and that's it's a tough one to get up, to get up from, I think sometimes, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what these Ravens are gonna do for the rest of the season as this offense kind of finds its way and this defense continues to be great.